What's up, Pixel Enemy? SoggyFlapjackes here, and today we're going to be discussing how to use the Assault Kit effectively and some tips and tricks that I have for you guys so that you guys can use the Assault Kit to its advantages and avoid using it to its weaknesses, because obviously the Assault Kit is the most used kit in Battlefield 3, and that's for a reason. And the Assault Kit primarily gives you the opportunity to engage targets at medium range and also staying versatile at all other ranges, which is a really key aspect of the Assault Kit that allows it to be probably the most popular kit in Battlefield for a reason. Now, the first thing important to take into consideration when using the Assault Kit is what gun you're using, because obviously what gun you're using is going to manipulate and control the engagements that you are presented with. So understanding the map that you're engaging in is really important to picking your gun. Now, I'm using the AUG A3 in Donia Fortress on Conquest Domination, and you guys may wonder, well, why not go with an AK-971 or something with a faster DPS? Well, honestly, I like the AK-971, but I think that the AUG A3 is better presented for these situations because it's a bullpup, and a bullpup allows me to corner better when I'm ADSing, or it allows me to hipfire much better because there's an added hipfire bonus since the magazine is loaded in the rear of the gun. So understanding what gun you want to use and what advantages that gun presents and what disadvantages that gun presents is really important to emerging victorious from any gunfight or any match for that matter. Now, emerging victorious from any match is obviously something that isn't always directly in your control, but it is something that every Battlefield player can have an influence on. So knowing your role as an Assault Kit is very important. Now, in my opinion, the Assault player is meant for assaulting objectives or pushing up on the front lines, and obviously that's for a reason, and that's because the Assault Kit is named the Assault Kit. I think the support roles and the recon roles are possibly better suited for defending an objective and staying in one place, but the Assault Kit is really lending itself to a more mobile character and limiting your profile, but at the same time pushing up. Now quickly, I'd like to discuss limiting your profile. Limiting your profile, is giving your enemy less target to shoot at while enabling yourself to have the most target to shoot at. So understanding map knowledge is very important, but at the same time it's how you utilize that map knowledge. So having routes predetermined in your head and maneuvering the map to pose yourself with advantages with that gun that you have is very important, because that's obviously going to give you an upper edge on the enemy that lots of enemies don't do in this game because they just don't think. They just kind of run around like a baby buffalo, which obviously isn't good. So running around like a baby buffalo is something that you guys want to avoid, but it's also something you want to take into consideration because obviously understanding map routes and other routes that other enemies are going to take is obviously going to put you in a much more advantageous position than somebody who also is going to know their routes. So understanding that is going to put you at an advantage, but it's also going to help you limit your profile. So as an Assault Kit, since you're mobile a lot, you're also going to have to take into consideration what sight lines you're introducing yourself to. And a really easy way to limit your sight lines is to hug corners and hug walls, but it's also to utilize crouch and prone. So when you're running around a corner, possibly try not to run, but try to walk, because if you're running around a corner, your gun is obviously going to be down, and that's where enemies will be able to do a lot of bad things to you, which you don't want them to do. So I wouldn't recommend crouching around a corner because that hinders your mobility, and I really wouldn't recommend going prone around a corner because that takes forever to get up in this game, and also it just limits your mobility as well. So primarily what you want to do is you want to hug corners and maneuver the map quickly and decisively so that you kind of have the upper edge on the enemy, but at the same time you're not sticking around in one position for too long. So another thing to limit your profile, since you are going to be mobile a lot, is the utilization of cover. Now, I don't have to talk too much about cover because you guys know what it is, but understanding cover, especially in the Close Quarters expansion pack, is something very important, because cover is now very destructible in the Close Quarters expansion pack, and it's going to influence how you use the map and how you use cover, because what was cover 20 seconds ago may not be cover at that moment. So understanding that is obviously going to put you at an upper edge. Now, there you just saw me use the defibrillator, and the defibrillator is the staple of the Assault Kit. It allows you to revive and obviously gain back tickets for your team. Now, this gaining back of tickets is much more influential on the defense team of Rush than any game mode that I can foresee. However, it's very useful in Conquest because you can pick enemies up not just for the ticket regain aspect of it, but if you just had that enemy down and you're trying to assault an objective, if you pick him up, he might end up following you, or if you're communicating even better, you present yourself with more comrades on the battlefield, so then you can obviously take more guys out more effectively. So using the defib is also something that takes a lot of skill and practice. So when you're reviving somebody, be sure to revive somebody at a 45-degree angle so you can look down at that revived person, revive them, but also maintain your angle of attack and viewpoint of the rest of the enemy so that you're not just caught looking straight down at the ground reviving the guy, because obviously that's an aspect of the game where a lot of guys are going to be able to kill you. Now another thing to understand about the assault kit is whether to pick the med pack or the M320 or M320 mass or anything along those lines. Not the M320 mass, sorry about that. Or the M320 smoke, which is a very useful gadget in the assault kit. Now, in my opinion, the mass is a useless thing in the assault kit because I think the assault kit is meant for healing or possibly for utilizing the M320 smoke or the M320 to get rubble kills. But really, you want to use the assault kit, and you want to use any kit for that matter, for the advantages that it has. If you're equipping a shotgun for a third spot on your assault kit, just use a shotgun as a primary, because there's so many good things that you can do with the M320 as far as rubble kills go, and especially in rush mode or any mode where you're trying to push up and provide cover for your team, the M320 smoke is very useful for that matter. It's also important to take into consideration that as far as the recent patch goes for Battlefield 3 as of June 4th, the M320 smoke now, the smoke screen stays a lot longer because they patched it. So now it stays longer and it obviously provides you with cover for longer so you can move up and obviously gain more objectives. Now an important thing to take into consideration is that the M320 LVG should not be used in any case, and I don't think I have to reiterate this much more because I'm sure you guys understand that. The M320 LVG, in my opinion, is just an absolute waste of time, and I'm very frustrated that they put it into the game, especially in Gunmaster. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated I put it into the game, but whatever. This isn't a rant about the M320 LVG. Now, another thing I wanted to kind of hit on is how useful the assault kit can be in its presented situations. But obviously, using any kit, it's important to take into consideration what are the needs of your team, because the assault kit may not always be the go-to kit, because a lot of people it is, but there are a lot of other useful kits, and I'm not here to talk about those, but I am here to talk about that the assault kit has a time and place, and understanding the needs of your team will obviously help you guys. So if you don't understand that there is every single other reason to use other kits like the engineers and recon, well, you're not going to be a good Battlefield player. So understanding that, hey, if my entire squad is assault, maybe I should go support to provide them ammo, because obviously everybody needs to have balance in this game, and if you don't have balance, you're just going to get rolled by teams who are utilizing all the kits effectively and maneuvering and communicating so that they can win engagements. So those are my basic tips for the assault kit, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to subscribe to Pixel Enemy because they provide you with a lot of stuff that helps you out on the battlefield, as well as they provide me with the opportunity of posting on this channel. If you really enjoyed, I would also really appreciate if you guys came over to my channel, as I'm doing lots of Battlefield 3 tips and tricks videos like these. So, once again, I hope you enjoyed. Please leave this video a like and a comment if you did, and if you didn't, please tell me what I could do better. So, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.